new episode of the War List or the War Zone. My God, I already screwed this up. This is the best SummerSlam matches in honor of the upcoming this Sunday SummerSlam. But I'm not alone. I'm joined, as you can see right here, by Malcolm Goldie Lay. How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good. I've just gone back and had a look at some. Haven't got around to rewatching some matches, but it's like I looked at the list of the matches that had happened in each one's like what ones
Mm-hmm.
do I remember. There was a couple. There was a couple that I completely forgot took place on SummerSlam, so it's going to be a fun list.
Yep. And then also we have Andrew Hayes. How's it going, man?
It's going good. I mean, I broke my headphones literally 5 seconds ago. My hair is a mess. But other than that, I'm doing good. I can't wait to talk about SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam has produced some incredible matches, and I can't wait to talk about them.
Yeah, without a doubt. So how the Warzone works is just like any other ranking, like rank 'em, which Malcolm hosts. We have a nomination process. Since there's three of us, majority rules. And then after the nomination process, we have 10, and then we knock down 3 to the top 7, and then we rank 7 to 1. Does everyone understand?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
All right, so let's kick off with Malcolm with his first nomination.
The first one I'm going to bring up is one that it's a fairly recent one, but I think it's worthy of being on this, and that's Neville and Stephen Amell versus Bad News Barrett and Stardust. Like this
Wow,
was
that's the first one.
Wow.
this is like one of my personal favorites. One was like when this match was like in the process, people were like, oh, Stephen Amell can't wrestle. He's not. He's just going to stand on the thing, and then he's going to be tagged in and get a pin, and that's pretty much it. But this, like, he got in. He actually did wrestle, and he did great. Like showed that he like if he ever decides to give up acting and go to wrestling, he can do it pretty easily. So that's why I've put this one up first.
All right, Andrew, we have Stephen Amell and Stardust, or Stephen Amell and Neville versus Stardust and Bad News Barrett.
All right. I actually really enjoyed this match. I think for like celebrity matches can be hit or miss. And this was one of the better ones, in my opinion. It might actually be the best one. But I don't know. I don't really have a favorite celebrity match. But would definitely be up there. I was actually at this SummerSlam when this was at, so this one does have a special place in my heart. With that being said, though, as much fun as I have with this match, and as good as of a match I think this is, there is just so many that I think that are better. Again, like as fun as I think this match is, this didn't even come into my mind when I was initially thinking about it. So I'm gonna have to go with no.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no. Also, pretty much the same reason that Andrew did. I think there's so many classic matches that that SummerSlam has produced over the years that I just can't give this match a yes. So that tag team match does not make the list. Let's move on to Andrew for his next selection.
All right. For me, I actually just rewatched this one today and prepared for this, and I forgot how fantastic it was. Definitely one of, if not the first one that I thought of when I was asked to do this show. And that is from SummerSlam 2013, CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. I think for me this is a very emotional match for multiple reasons. But this is back before really Brock went on this monster run that he went on. Where he broke the Undertaker streak and just won the WWE title and went on this monster streak before, having it all wasted by losing the gold. But this is really the start of it. And while in hindsight, it really didn't really mean anything, and it really kind of means nothing because of what happened with Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. But still, nonetheless, this match was great. This match shows that when Brock wants to work, Brock can have a great match, and when he's working with the right person, he can have a great match. And the added element of Paul Heyman being there, and Paul Heyman had just recently turned on CM Punk. I think added so much to that, and it's sometimes it's not really believable when you could beat Brock, but when you could make me at least believe that Brock, for even a slight second, could be beaten. I think that also adds a lot to a match, and this match made me believe that CM Punk could actually beat Brock Lesnar with that no disqualification stipulation. So, this is definitely one of my favorites, and this is the first one I'm nominating.
All right, Malcolm. CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, SummerSlam 2013. Yes or no for you?
This one's going to be a no for me. I do like this match, but I think that both Brock and CM Punk have had some better matches at SummerSlam. And I think this is close to the top 7, but not in the 7 for me. So, yeah, it's a no.
All right, on to me. This one actually made it high up on my list. I'm going to give it a yes. As Andrew said, the fact that you could believe that CM Punk could actually win this match against Lesnar, and the fact that even in defeat, Punk looked so strong. Because in most Brock matches, it's, suplex, F5 is over. This one, Brock really sold his ass off for Punk's offense, and you believed for a second that Punk could defeat Lesnar. And that was, had me on the edge of my seat. I didn't know what was going to happen. And actually rewatching it, knowing the outcome, it's even better because it's like, oh, he really fought and earned the respect of everybody in the arena. So, yeah, it's going to be a yes for me. So, we have CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar on the list. All right. On to me. Oh, which one do I want to start with? So many good ones, actually. But I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to start off with SummerSlam 1991. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line. Champion Mr. Perfect takes on Bret Hart in a title versus career match. This match is pure technical magic. You have two of probably the greatest technical workhorses in the company, probably ever to work for the company, and they are going for 25 minutes in an absolute war. This is what the Intercontinental Championship is all about. The workhorse, the technical ability, the high flying, the brawl, and it ends with a great moment with Bret Hart countering a leg drop into a sharpshooter for the victory, and just this whole magnificent moment. This whole match was fantastic. Definitely pure technical ability on display. So that's the one I'm opening with. Andrew, what do you say?
I really enjoyed this match. And I agree with a lot of what you said. But there's just a lot that I would like to see on this list, and it's not one that I initially had on my list. And while it is a good match, I'm gonna have to say no because it's just not one of my personal favorites. Not one of the ones I usually think of when I think of SummerSlam, and just not one of the ones that's on my list.
All right, Malcolm.
This is just one I don't remember. So, yeah, I'm going to say no.
All right. Oh, damn. All right, let's move back over to Malcolm.
I'm going to go for 2010 the the Nexus had just come on the scene, causing roughshod throughout WWE. Then John Cena decides to form a Justice League of sorts to take on the Nexus. So I'm bringing up Team WWE versus the Nexus. This was a fun match. Was like you've got a like Edge, Christian, Jericho, Bret Hart. The mystery opponent, which no one knew who was going to be, until it turned out it was going to be Daniel Bryan coming in and taking on his former pal. So this was a really fun match, and I was really entertaining. The stakes were high, and it's one that I initially didn't think I'd consider it, but it's one that I'm sort of revisiting it, because this was probably one of the only ones I did actually rewatch for this. I found it was just a lot of entertaining, and you just got really great moments in there.
All right, we have Nexus versus Team WWE. Andrew, start us off.
This gets a big fat no from me. I really don't like this match. I think that it's a bit messy, and that's me putting it nicely. I think Bret Hart, just like there was no reason for him to be in that match since he did pretty much nothing other than use a chair to get himself disqualified. Also, the ending where John Cena makes his mega comeback and pretty much buries the Nexus really just makes me very sour on this match. It's like I said, a big no from me.
Yeah, it's going to be a big no for me. That ending really made me mad. That's what really crushed the momentum of the Nexus, stopped it dead in its tracks. John Cena had to come in and just bury 3 guys after taking a DDT and a 450 splash. I'm sorry, a DDT on the floor
On the
and
concrete,
a 450
yes.
splash. On the concrete and a 450 splash. So, yeah, that's going to be a no for me, dog. All right, let's move on to Andrew.
All right. I just kind of want to get this one out of the way. I expect this not to make it on, but I'm going to mention it anyway because I absolutely adore this match. And this is, in my opinion, the epitome of what a guilty pleasure wrestling match is. It's
Oh God.
I know you know what I'm going to say. It's famously dubbed the octopus in a washing machine match.
Oh
Hulk
no,
Hogan
Andrew! Andrew, no!
Versus Shawn Michaels.
No!
I don't expect this to make it, but I just had to talk about it because I love this match for all the wrong reasons. This had no right to be as entertaining as it is because, Hulk Hogan is pretty trash at wrestling. But my boy saving the day, Shawn Michaels, makes it by legitimately overselling everything.
Everything!
And like him overselling, it's just so funny because you could see that Shawn Michaels just doesn't care because he knows he's gonna lose and he's just really upset about it. And Hulk Hogan is upset because Michaels is overselling everything, but towards the end it gets crazy with all the overselling, and even like Hulk Hogan, like you could tell that he's like, all right, like I guess it's kind of funny. Like even he gets into the overselling towards the end. And I could, like, this isn't a good match by any means, but it's so ridiculously stupid with all the overselling that Shawn Michaels does that I could sit down, watch it, and have a grand old time. So I figure, like I said, I don't think it's going to make the list, but I just wanted to mention it and kind of talk about it a little bit because I love this match for all the wrong reasons, though.
All right. Going to me. Yeah, hell no. Hell no. You can clearly see the self-sabotage in this match from the get-go. He oversells everything. The big boot he sells like he is being shot out of a cannon, which is funny, but it's the entire match. It gets annoying after a while when you watch 15, 20 minutes of that.
I think he didn't go ridiculous enough, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be a big fat no. Malcolm?
Yeah, I love this match for all the wrong reasons as well. I have a yes.
Fuck! Really? The octopus match makes the list. Shawn Michaels
Aye.
first.
Malcolm
Oh my
just became my favorite
god.
person ever. Honestly.
Oh my god.
Wow. Oh my lord.
Back to me, so we can get to some real wrestling matches on this list. Alright, I'm gonna go with my number one here. I'm going from SummerSlam 1992, British Bulldog versus Bret Hart, Intercontinental Championship main event in Wembley Stadium. You had the entire crowd behind British Bulldog, and they booed Bret Hart, which is something that Bret had never seen up to this point. Bret, seeing that in the match, played a little heelish. He held the choke on a little bit longer than he should. He was playing to the crowd, and this match was just incredible. Again, great technical ability match with British Bulldog's strength and size and speed advantage, and the fact that they have such great chemistry in the ring, and they really told a great story by involving the crowd. The crowd was so invested in this match that they popped so big when Bulldog won the title. It was probably one of the loudest ovations I've heard in a very long time. This match, from top to bottom, was so good, and that's why I'm nominating this match. Andrew, starting with you.
This gets a yes from me. Like you said, it was a great tactical match. Bulldog and Hart were just doing some of the best wrestling you'll probably ever see. And the crowd, and like I've always said this, a crowd can very much elevate a match, and this crowd very much elevated this match, and very much made this match a lot better. They added to a lot, and just the work for both wrestlers involving the crowd and just everything that you said, Hunter. I agree with. So it gets a yes from me.
Woohoo! Alright, so British Bulldog and Bret Hart does make the list. Malcolm, what would you have said?
Yeah, this is one that once again I don't really remember because a lot of the early '90s matches are probably ones that I haven't seen or just don't remember that much because I just haven't got around to revisiting those SummerSlams before. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's move on back to Malcolm.
Back to me. I'm gonna go for a Hell in a Cell match between Undertaker and Edge in 2008. I believe this was the match which ended with Undertaker putting Edge straight through the ring and
to hell.
yeah.
Literally sent him to hell.
But I mean, this match was one I had a lot of fun with. Like of recent times, Undertaker hasn't really had a lot of matches at SummerSlam, which I noticed would go through this. But when he does appear, he puts on a show and just has a really great match. And this is one that I do think belongs on this list. And this was one that just was really entertaining to watch, and it was like Undertaker when he was back in his prime and sort of could do a lot.
All right, so we have Taker versus Edge, Hell in a Cell. Andrew, yes or no for that match?
This match, I like a lot. I mean, the Edge and Undertaker really, I feel like they didn't have a bad match. I mean, their feud during that time was pretty great. And I do think this is one of the better matches in SummerSlam, and actually one of the ones I thought of immediately when thinking about like great SummerSlam matches. So this is going to be a yes from me.
All right, so Taker and Edge, Hell in a Cell makes the list. I would have given it a yes also. This match was just fun. This match had a lot of the Hell in the Cell spots that you come to expect, and that ending was so insane. So, yep, Edge versus Taker makes the list. Let's move on to Andrew.
All right, this next match is again one of like the very first SummerSlam matches I ever thought. It actually might be my number one now that I'm thinking about it. It's from SummerSlam 2001, an unsanctioned match between the Game Triple H and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. And this was Shawn Michaels' first match back, and really the start of this magnificent run, like his second run in WWE, which is generally considered his best run in his career, and that's saying a lot because his first run was pretty fantastic. So for him to come back from retirement from an injury and have this great match was pretty special. Showed that Shawn really has it, and really this solidifies Shawn Michaels being my favorite wrestler of all time. Is really this match and this run that he goes on. And this had a lot of story into it. Shawn Michaels came back. It was supposed to be this DX reunion, and Triple H turns on him, and what is a pretty emotional moment, honestly. Like, people talk about the Shield breaking up being a big emotional turn, or like Triple H turning on Seth Rollins, that being emotional, or Ciampa turning on Gargano. But like, I think like this one often gets left out of the conversation, and that really upsets me, because I feel like this one is just as good as those, because Triple H and Shawn Michaels are supposed to be these best of friends, and it's supposed to be this big moment. Shawn Michaels is back, and Triple H turns on him, and they go to have on this great match, and a lot of storytelling to perfection, in my opinion. I love this match a lot, and I definitely hope it makes this list.
All right, I'm gonna start with me, and hell yeah, it makes the list. By the way, Andrew, it was SummerSlam 2002, not 2001.
2002. Okay. Yes.
But overall, this match had everything. It was violent as hell. You had emotional drama, and you had some real good technical moments mixed in. So it wasn't just a brawl. You had great technical wrestling mixed with that amazing brawl. Shawn Michaels jumping from the top rope through the table on the outside, so beautiful, with like the flashing of the lights from the cameras or whatever.
Yeah.
The flash bulbs were amazing looking. And the fact that Michaels came back in better shape than he was in his prime, and was able to, in his first match back, give us an instant classic. That shows the type of man that Michaels is.
I think I mean, obviously, like, I feel like all kinds of wrestling great. Comedy wrestling is great, technical wrestling is great, hardcore wrestling is great. But what really gets me is like the storytelling in a match, and a match like this has storytelling to perfection.
Oh yeah. So Malcolm, you know what I meant. What would you have said?
I would have, it would have been an easy yes for me. This is a fun match to watch, and I quite like a lot of unsanctioned matches as well. So yeah.
All right. Going on to me, and this one is actually tied with Bulldog versus Hart for me as my favorite SummerSlam match, just because of the car wreck that it is. I'm not going technical anymore. I'm going brutal. I'm going TLC 1. Edge, Christian, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys for the tag team titles. Very first time we saw a TLC match at SummerSlam 2000, it was amazing. I just watched this match today, and there's no slow moments. Like, the bell rings, it starts, and it's all high energy, high action. They do not stop. You have Hardy, you have Jeff Hardy jumping off the ladder through the tables on Bubba and missing it. You have the Bubba bomb off of the ladder on Christian, which looks so nasty. And then you had Ed spearing Lita, after Matt takes him out, and then like so much happened in this match. It's so hard for me to remember everything. It was definitely this car crash match that you couldn't take your eyes off the entire match. You was glued to the screen the entire time. So TLC 1 is the one I'm bringing up. Malcolm, let's start with you.
Yeah, I'm always a sucker for any matches involving the Hardy Boys. This, but I mean, this match is one that was the first one that I thought of, and it's one that it's an easy yes for me.
Woohoo. All right, TLC 1 makes the list. Andrew, what would you have said?
All right, that was also an easy yes. I mean, I just said literally like a minute ago, all kinds of wrestling is cool, and I did include hardcore wrestling, and, this is, like the definition of a great hardcore match. So,
Yep.
yeah, it would have been an easy yes.
All right, so let's move back over to Malcolm. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the list right now.
So one spot left, is it?
No, 4 spots left. 10, and then we knock off 3.
Okay. I think it's high time we try and get a women's match on here. I'm going to go for Paige versus AJ Lee in 2014. This is this is after Paige sort of came onto the scene, and after she took the belt from AJ early on on the episode of Woman, she came on, which was shown briefly in Fighting for My Family. But this is one that I really enjoy watching. I think this was AJ Lee's last match as well. So before she departed with Punk. So this is one that I thought was a great match, and it definitely shows sort of why I really wish AJ would come back, because AJ is one of those wrestlers which I always enjoyed watching, and Paige is always fun to watch.
All right, Andrew, we have AJ Lee versus Paige, SummerSlam 2014.
I really like this match. I mean, AJ Lee and Paige are both fantastic wrestlers, not just female wrestlers, just wrestlers. And I often think, they don't get talked about when talking about the women's revolution, and that's often quite sad for me because they really were kind of ahead of their time. And but I just think that there are better women's matches and just better matches from SummerSlam, and some that I feel like we need to talk about. So I'm gonna have a no from this one, even though I really like this match.
Yeah, going on me. I don't remember this match clearly. This is the ones that kind of like slipped past me a little bit. So yeah, it's gonna be a no for me just because I can't remember anything from it. All right, let's move on to Andrew.
Okay, my next match is a pretty recent one from SummerSlam 2016. That would be John Cena versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. And when he finally came over to WWE in 2016, it was honestly like a dream come true. I've always dreamt about AJ Styles coming to WWE and facing off against the best. And when he was in this feud with John Cena, I was so excited because people give John Cena a lot of flack. I like to boo him, don't get me wrong, but I always felt like a lot of people hated on him for no reason. He could have a great match with the right person, and since at that point, and still arguably AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world, he could have a great match with anybody. So when he was in this feud with John Cena, I was like, these are going to be some great matches, and they had that great match at Money in the Bank. And then they had that pretty solid match at Battleground. And then, there was this match where it was fantastic, and AJ goes over clean, which still unheard of to this day, but, you rarely saw that. And especially for a new guy, like in WWE who just came in, that was from TNA, no less. You thought that, you would think that, they would bury Vince, be petty and bury AJ. But no, Vince has AJ go over. And then the next month, he wins the WWE title. So I think not only is this a great match, but this really kind of put AJ Styles in the main event scene, really kind of solidified him as not a TNA guy, but a WWE guy.
All right, AJ Styles versus John Cena, SummerSlam 2016. Malcolm, let's start with you.
But yeah, Andrew, when you mentioned SummerSlam 2016, I thought you were going a different direction with the match choice. There's two other matches I think from the better. Not that I don't like John Cena versus AJ Styles. I think it's a great match. I just don't think it's top 10. So I'm going to say no.
All right, go on to me. It's an absolute yes for me. Because, as Andrew brought up before, this is the match that really put AJ Styles on the map in WWE. At Money in the Bank, like a few months previous, he won, but he had the club's help. So it's like, okay, what are we doing here? And then at SummerSlam, he goes over Cena clean after a 30-minute just epic match. Cena definitely held his own with AJ. AJ didn't carry Cena. Cena didn't carry AJ. They both were on their peak levels for this match. And me personally, I think this is my favorite of the four, second behind the Royal Rumble.
Oh, the Royal Rumble one was fantastic too.
All right, so AJ Styles and John Cena makes the list. Back to me. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna make the list, but I'm gonna try anyway. I gotta go with it. So, SummerSlam 2005. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio ladder match.
Oh my god!
The battle for Rey's son. All right, so take the storyline out for a minute. You have two of the best lucha libre wrestlers who have had great history, great chemistry together in the ring, and you add the ladder stipulation. In my opinion, this is one of the better ladder matches I've ever seen. Because it had everything. It had technical ability, high flying ability, great spots with the ladder, and just everything surrounding it was just beautifully done. There was no big mistakes. There was no mess ups with the ladder. To me, this was peak Guerrero, peak Mysterio, and you just let him go. And this is also Mysterio's favorite wrestling match he's ever done in his career. So I'm going for Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, SummerSlam 2005. Andrew, let's go to you.
I got 3 words for you. Or 4 words, my bad. What the fuck, Vicky? No, this is a no from me. Because I've never been a fan of this match. I thought this match, one, ridiculous concept, the custody of a child. I mean, that's wrestling for you. But that's pretty ridiculous in on itself. And
also had a storyline the next year where Vince fought God. So that's not the dumbest thing we would see.
I never said it was the dumbest thing in wrestling. You want to know what the dumbest thing in wrestling is? Mae Young giving birth to a hand. That's the dumbest thing in wrestling. No, this match was way too slow for me. I just thought they milked it on for way too long, and for it to be over a custody of a child. I just never been a fan of this match, so it's a no for me.
All right, Malcolm?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this match because of the storyline. We got Andrew's Goldie Pleasure on there. I think we're going to get Hunter's Goldie Pleasure on as well.
Yeah.
On the same SummerSlam of all time, so I'm saying yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio makes the list. Let's move on to Malcolm.
All right. I'm going to go for the match that I thought Andrew was going for when he mentioned SummerSlam 2016. I'm going to go for Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins for the inaugural Universal Championship. Despite what happened after this match with Finn Balor being injured and forced to relinquish the title aside, the match itself was a great match, and everyone thought, oh yeah, Seth will win, because they didn't think that Finn Balor wasn't ready to win, that he was too new. But this showed that like Finn Balor is just a great wrestler, and he just showed why he deserves another shot to get the Universal title. But yeah, whether or not that will happen again, I do not know. So,
All right, we have Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, SummerSlam 2016. I'm going to start off. It's hard because this is a very good match, but we have 2 spots left, and I think the crowd completely ruins this match. When you go back and rewatch it, the crowd in New York completely screws this match up. And as Andrew brought up with the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart, a bad crowd can make you see a match in a negative light. And for me, that's why I'm giving it a no, is because the crowd just shit all over this match because of the design of the belt. It's sad, but that's why I'm giving it a no. Andrew?
I agree with you, Hunter. Like I said with Bulldog versus Hart, a crowd could really elevate a match, and in this case, the opposite happened. The crowd kind of de-elevated it. And it's in ring wise, it's a good match. But even if you ignore the crowd, for me at least, there's just other matches that I would put higher than this, especially when there are only 2 spots left.
Yeah. All right. So
it's
Seth Rollins and Balor does not make the list, so it's back to me. All right. No, it's back to Andrew. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm going to go with a match from SummerSlam 2015. And I don't know if this is going to make the list because of the finish, but I love this match. But it is Seth Rollins versus John Cena for both the United States and WWE Championship. This is this is a great match. Like, honestly, the finish never bothered me. I know it bothered a lot of people. John Stewart coming, but the finish personally never bothered me because it kind of makes Cena look strong, and the way they explained it makes sense because John Stewart, he didn't want to see Ric Flair's title reign get broken or tied at least. But no, I think this is a great match. Again, I don't really expect it to make it on here, but I thought I'd throw that out there.
All right, Malcolm, we have Seth Rollins versus John Cena. SummerSlam 2015, yes or no?
Yeah, this is one that I'm saying no to very easily. To me, the finish did take them away from the match, but yeah, it was a great match. But to me, that finish with getting John Stewart involved and all that, it still bothers me. It's one that I really don't rewatch much.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Malcolm. It's going to be a big no for me because that ending does take a lot away from the match. I don't remember anything that happened in the match. The only thing I remember about that match is John Stewart coming out. That sucks, but the ending does ruin this match for me. So yeah, it's going to be a no for me. All right, it's back to me now officially. Stuck between 2 here. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go SummerSlam 2013 main event, WWE Championship on the line. Daniel Bryan taking on John Cena. This right here really cemented Daniel Bryan as a main event star. John Cena took the L to make Bryan seem like this huge superstar. The match itself was really good. Cena showing he can actually go hold for hold with Bryan. And the fact that Daniel Bryan actually won the title and he was so high, and then Triple H turned on him. Randy Orton comes out, cashes in. All great storylines for what would happen at WrestleMania 30 when he finally gets his moment. This match right here is amazing from start to finish. The build-up was great, and then the payoff was just fantastic. So Daniel Bryan versus John Cena is my pick. Let's start with Andrew.
Like I said with Styles versus Cena, taking a clean pin on Cena is a big deal because it doesn't happen that very often. It happened more frequently in 2016, but in 2013, I feel like it was virtually unheard of. So for Bryan in 2013 to get a clean pin off of Cena in the main event at SummerSlam for this WWE title is a pretty big deal to me. And that moment was great. The only, and it's not really anything to do with the match, but I thought it was a little bit too predictable that Triple H was going to turn on him at the end and Randy Orton was going to cash in. But, again, that has nothing to do with this match, in the match. So, again, that's nothing that can take away from that match. But, yes, this is a yes for me.
Ooh. So John Cena versus Daniel Bryan makes list. Malcolm, what would you have said?
I actually would have said no. There's a few other John Cena matches that are better. This probably won't even be in my top 10 of John Cena matches of all time. So,
oh wow.
Yeah,
hot takes from Malcolm. All right, let's go on to Malcolm. We have one spot remaining.
You want a hot take? I'll give you a hot take. The cage match between Owen Hart and Bret Hart ain't that good. That's a hot take.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Malcolm, on to you.
I'm going to look into the future and say that Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton from this year's SummerSlam will be good enough to be in the top 10.
Who knows?
It could be, but we're not there yet, so.
But no. But I'm going to go for one of my personal favorite John Cena matches, and that's John Cena versus CM Punk. This is one that I really do enjoy quite a bit. Like CM Punk and John Cena have had some great matches over the years. I think this is definitely one of them. Just all the thing, and I can't remember. I think this might have been. I don't know where I'm going with that statement, but yeah, John Cena versus CM Punk is one that I think deserves to be in the top 10.
All right, I'm gonna start with me on this one. It's a good one, but again, that ending, I don't. On one hand, the match was really good. On the other hand, that whole ending was awful. Kevin Nash coming out hitting the jackknife, and then Del Rio cashing in on him. That really, really holds a bad spot, because then that really takes away the Summer of Punk. And I also think that CM Punk and John Cena had a way better match at Money in the Bank of the same year, a few months prior. So yeah, it's going to be a no for me. Andrew?
This is also going to be a no for me. I do really enjoy this match, but given the fact that they've had a 5-star classic, in my opinion, one of the best matches I've ever seen at Money in the Bank the month prior.
Yeah.
And the fact, I know I literally just said, the catching didn't take away from Bryan, the Bryan Cena match, and that's only because I feel like that only elevated the story and only really added to, when Daniel Bryan won at WrestleMania. All that added to it, especially because that had an end game and it all was worth it at the end. Del Rio cashing in and Kevin Nash coming out ruins this for me, because there really wasn't an end to it. Punk went the feud on with Triple H and lose, and then he eventually had this year title reign, but I feel like 434-day title reign, but that really doesn't save this, because it really just of how bad it is. And I felt like, Punk, when he won it and won it for that 434 title reign, it wasn't that big moment. And, it really kind of derailed CM Punk's momentum. So yeah, it's going to be a no for me as well.
All right, so let's move on back to Andrew. We have one spot remaining.
This is a very fun match, in my opinion. One that I really hope makes this list. And this is definitely from SummerSlam 2001. It is for the WWF Championship, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kurt Angle. This is pretty much at the heyday of the Alliance versus the Alliance storyline, or the Invasion storyline, I should say. And Stone Cold was heel, with the Alliance, and Kurt Angle wasn't. And the Invasion storyline wasn't all that great, but it did have some great matches and great moments, and this is one of those great matches. They had a pretty great brawl, and I think just both of them put on a clinic together and worked very well. So that's the match I'm nominating.
All right, Malcolm, yes or no?
Yeah, this is a fine match. But it's a no, pretty much just for strategy reasons. I want to see if it can get back to me.
Going on to me. I don't remember this match very well. That's the problem. It's Austin, it's Angle, but they've had much more memorable matches that I remember more than this match right here. And with one spot remaining, I just can't say yes to it. All right, so it's back to me, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with this one. I don't think it's going to make the list, but I literally only have two left. So I'm going to go with, again, SummerSlam 2002, because I think that is the best SummerSlam. Yes, I said it. And I'm going to go with the match that kicked off the entire card. Kurt Angle versus the pay-per-view debut of Rey Mysterio. Two clashing styles. Technical wrestling ability meets Lucha Libre high flying. And the match from start to finish does not stop. Mysterio comes out for his entrance. He attacks Angle from behind. And immediately the match starts. Rey took the fight to Angle. And he lost. But he lost in a way where it made him look strong. He went in there. He wrestled with the wrestling machine, Kurt Angle. He lost, but barely. This was a fantastic match. It kicked off SummerSlam 02 in a very good manner. So that is my pick. Andrew, we'll start with you.
I'm going to say no from this one because I honestly don't remember this match all that well. And there's one other match that I would like to bring up. But the SummerSlam 2002 is remembered for two things. The already mentioned Triple H HBK unsanctioned match, and Brock Lesnar beating The Rock for the title. And this is just not one of those things. So yeah. I'm gonna have to say no for that one.
All right, Malcolm.
I just don't remember this match. That's a no.
All right. So let's move back over to Malcolm.
All right. Seem to have a lack of tag team matches on here, so I'm going to try for another tag team match. I'm going to go for DX versus Legacy in 2009. This was a match. I can't quite remember the storyline that led up to this match, but this was one which had Triple H and Shawn taking on I think it was Cody Rhodes and DiBiase and Orton in the corner. I can't remember which member of Legacy it was in there. I can't even remember if it was Handicap, but which is pretty bad in my case. But I'd say that I remember really enjoying this match when it was on, and it's just one of those many tag matches that I do think belongs on the top 10 of the best SummerSlam matches.
All right, Andrew. What do you say?
There have been great SummerSlam matches or tag team matches at SummerSlam, and I don't remember this one, and I could probably think about 3 others that I would nominate over this one. That just because based off the fact that I remember it more, and there is one match that I want to mention, so it's going to be a no from me.
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. 1, because I don't remember this match, and 2, Malcolm doesn't either. So, yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. Andrew, back to you.
All right, from also from SummerSlam 2009. I'm pretty sure it was a ladder match. It could have been a TLC match, but I'm pretty sure it was a ladder match for the World Heavyweight title.
Ladder match.
Ladder match. Okay, yeah. Because I feel like it could have been a TLC because Jeff Hardy was
No,
involved.
no. TLC, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was TLC. Yeah, I couldn't. It involved a ladder in some capacity, but TLC match: Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title. This was a great feud. Pretty much 2 people who were like pretty much opposites of each other. You had, CM Punk, who was the straight edge guy who just turned heel by cashing in on Jeff Hardy, having a great heel run. And then you have Jeff Hardy, who is the face, who is the rock and roll, I'm pretty much opposite of straight edge, and they go to have this great match with this great feud, and I love this match.
All right. We have CM Punk versus Jeff Hardy. Malcolm, let's start with you.
As I already said before, I'm a sucker for all things Hardy, and I really do love this match. This is the one I was considering bringing up from this before. I thought, well, no, I'll try for the tag match first. But yeah, this was a great match, and like anytime Hardy is in a TLC match, like he's in his element. And I think if I remember rightly, Hardy did come out with the title, and that I really got excited about that because
No,
Punk won
he
that.
lost.
I know he eventually got the title later on.
That was during the match where Punk cashed in on him against Edge in a ladder match.
Yeah, and then I think he beat Punk, and Punk won it back again, and then this was like the end of the feud.
Yeah, but anyway, regardless, this was still a fun match, and yeah, and I always like Jeff Hardy. Is always excites me whenever he's in a match. Like he always gives his all into every match he does. So.
Is it a yes or a no, Malcolm?
It's a yes. So I already said it was yes earlier. So.
All right, Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk makes the list. I probably would have said no because it's because it is a good TLC match and had a good story, but there were better matches between Punk and Jeff Hardy. The cage match on SmackDown was better in my opinion. But it makes the list. So we have our 10. We have CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. Somehow Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. British Bulldog versus Bret Hart. Edge versus The Undertaker. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H unsanctioned match. TLC 1, Edge, Christian, Dudley Boys, and the Hardys. AJ Styles versus John Cena. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio. I don't know how, but thank you. John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. And Jeff Hardy versus CM Punk TLC match. All right, before we go and eliminate some of them, I do have a few honorable mentions I want to bring up. Chris Benoit versus Randy Orton, SummerSlam 2004. I know it's kind of a touchy subject, but this match is fantastic and definitely one worth watching. It gave Orton his first world title reign. You know what? Screw you, Andrew. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart cage match was fucking fantastic. And then Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon, SummerSlam 95. The rematch from WrestleMania 10's ladder match. Malcolm, did you have any mentions?
I had a couple. I had Brock Lesnar versus John Cena from 2014.
The squash.
And I had Sheamus versus Cesaro that kicked off the epic best of 7 series.
Sure.
Andrew?
Probably the Michaels Ramon rematch I would have mentioned. And if we got down to it, I would have probably eventually mentioned the Fatal 4-Way Joe versus Lesnar versus Strowman versus Roman.
Oh, yeah, that was a really good one, actually. All right. So no Jinder Mahal versus Nakamura on the list.
No,
Really?
no, absolutely not.
All right, guys. So we have our top 10. Now it's time for the elimination process. We have to pick 3 matches to be off the list. So let's write down the first one.
I already got my first one written down. I was already one step ahead of you guys.
Damn.
Same.
All right, hold on. I'll type mine up real quick.
I really hope that if this isn't the first one eliminated, I'd be pretty upset.
All right, 3,
100%.
2, 1. Andrew?
Guerrero versus Mysterio. It's literally the only one I said no to on this list that made it.
On to me. Michaels versus Hogan.
Oh my God, what is wrong?
Malcolm.
Daniel Bryan versus John Cena.
All right, listen. Now that's taking things too far, Malcolm.
Malcolm,
Both
you have
of you.
to pick between Michaels and Hogan. Or no.
Why
how's
can't
this gonna
you
work?
choose between the two?
How's this going to work?
I'm not changing my vote. I'm just saying
I mean,
that right up.
we could
I love
always
both of those matches, and I'm not voting them off before this one. So you guys can choose.
we could always eliminate all 3 and say that's it.
No,
You know what? I'll take Guerrero Mysterio off.
All right, thank you.
Fuck you. All right, ready?
Hold on, give me a second. Oh man, what do I get rid of? Oh boy. Because I do want Hogan versus Michaels to stay in here. Okay. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, start with me. Michaels versus Hogan. Andrew.
I put Punk versus Hardy. That TLC match.
Malcolm.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Bryan versus Cena.
See, here's the thing. If I really wanted to fucking piss people off, I could vote for Bryan versus Cena right now. But I do love that match, and it is objectively a better match than Hogan versus Michaels. So I'm in a bit of a crossroads right here. Okay. I made up my choice. I'm changing it. What do you think it is, Hunter?
I really hope it's Michaels versus Hogan.
Yeah, you're right. As much as I love this match, Bryan versus Cena is so much better, and I just
easily.
I can't. I can't. And Punk versus Hardy. Honestly, Punk versus Hardy was the only one I wanted gone before that one. And yeah, so
All right, so let's vote for one more off, and then we'll get to our top 10.
All right, let me.
Or our top 7. Sorry, you know what I meant. This one's pretty easy for me too.
Is it?
Yeah. Five,
Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Malcolm?
I'm still dying on this hill.
I have Punk versus Hardy.
Yeah, I got Punk versus Hardy too.
Boom.
All right. So Punk versus
It's just
Hardy.
that there are literally 7 5-star classics in here, and the 3 that were eliminated just aren't. As much as I love Hogan versus Michaels, I'd be a fool if I were to call that match a 5-star classic.
All right, so our 7 that are left is CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, British Bulldog versus Bret Hart, Edge versus Taker in Hell in a Cell. Michaels versus Triple H in Unsanctioned. TLC 1. AJ Styles versus John Cena. And John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. So let's vote for number 7. Again, this one is... Yeah, this one's kind of easy for me, too.
I mean... I guess.
None of these are bad matches, by the way. It's just... Alright, starting with me.
Honestly, the only match I legitimately disliked that made the top 10 was Guerrero versus Mysterio. So it's been painful to kind of vote all those off except for that one.
Alright, I have Edge versus Taker, Hell in a Cell. Andrew?
Bulldog versus Hart.
No, my heart, Malcolm.
Daniel Bryan versus John Cena.
God damn it. Well, since I changed my pick and Andrew changed his pick.
I'll change mine to Edge versus Undertaker.
Okay.
Because I could live with that not being.
All right. Here. So number 7 on the list is Edge versus The Undertaker. Which, again, good match, but just... Man, the rest of these, though. All right, let's vote for number 6. Man, it gets harder and harder every single time.
Nah, this one was pretty easy for me.
It's pretty easy for me too.
Fucker.
I swear to God.
You know what? Hold on. All right, Andrew?
Bulldog versus Hart.
Malcolm?
Cena versus Bryan.
I also have Bulldog versus Hart.
Okay, thank you.
So number 6 is the British Bulldog versus Bret Hart, even though it hurts my heart a lot. See what I did there? Ha 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 ha.
Yes,
number 5.
This one.
Let's see. All right. Let's start with Andrew.
Malcolm, you have to finally put down a new answer. Bryan versus Cena.
Yes, I also have Bryan versus Cena. Malcolm?
Yeah.
All right, Bryan versus Cena is number 5, which, again, not bad. Not bad at all.
Let me see.
All right, number 4 on the list.
Number 4. Wow, this one.
This one's hard, ain't it?
I know.
All right, I got it.
I got it too.
All right, let's start off with Malcolm.
John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Oh, wow. You really?
Andrew.
I almost put that one down, but I ended up putting down Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk.
Yep, Punk versus Brock.
Yeah, I almost put down Styles versus Cena.
At number 4 is Punk versus Brock. All right, so let's vote for number 3. And our top 3 is Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Unsanctioned, TLC, and AJ Styles versus John Cena. All right. Let's start with Malcolm.
John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Andrew?
John Cena versus AJ Styles.
Yep, the exact same thing. Cena versus Styles at number 3 on the list. So it's literally down to the hardcore matches.
Yeah, honestly. And I know what's going to win.
All right, so we are voting for number 1. For number 1. Yeah.
It's extremely easy for me.
Yeah, this one's extremely easy for me too. So it comes out to you, Hunter. You better make the
Yep.
right choice.
Yeah, this one's pretty easy for me.
Oh my god! I
All
know what you're
right.
picking too.
Andrew.
Of course, I have to go with Triple H versus Shawn Michaels.
Malcolm.
Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus Dudleys.
Down to me. What did I choose?
I know what you chose.
What did I choose? Unsanctioned match.
Oh,
Triple
really?
H
Oh, wow.
versus Shawn
That surprises
Michaels.
me. I was convinced you were picking TLC, but you made the correct choice.
I made the choice that was necessary. Because number 2 is TLC 1, Edge and Christian versus the Hardys versus the Dudleys. And then number 1 is Unsanctioned Rules, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. My God, what a list that was. We had a lot of great matches to choose from. And I think we really picked the best number 1. In my
Of course.
opinion.
It's one of the best matches ever.
I don't know.
Honestly.
It totally should have been Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero.
I know, right?
Absolutely. I'm just glad. If anything, I'm just glad that didn't make it into the top 7. I'm so glad it didn't make it higher than Hogan versus Shawn Michaels.
My God. All right, guys. That was our list. Now let's get into the closing plugs. Malcolm, where can people find you?
You can find me hosting Rankum every Sunday night. This week we're ranking top 12 Nicolas Cage movies. Should be really interesting and a lot of fun considering he's been in a lot of terrible movies.
Face.
But yeah, you can also find me hosting Full Metal Random every Tuesdays. I've kind of been coerced into doing a 50 Shades Grey trilogy match this week.
You can count me out of that one.
You poor soul.
Well,
I have never seen a single 50 Shades movie in my life, and I am proud of that fact.
Me too.
I mean, it was one of those cases. I was the one that put out the challenge, and people called my bluff and accepted it.
Oh my God!
So I've had to write questions, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of very interesting.
I feel so bad for you.
And I'm competing all over the place. On whether it's multiplex, Full Metal, movie trivia, face off league. You can find me in every area where there's a trivia league. I'll be. It's just like the bat signal. Every time you put up trivia, I put up there.
All right.
But
anything else, Malcolm?
That's all.
All right, and before we go, thank you for JB3 who's in the chat. He said that his pick would have been John Cena versus AJ Styles in 2016, but then he finally agrees that the unsanctioned match was the better choice, and then he said, "Have a great night." JB3, thank you for watching, and have a great night yourself. All right, Andrew, where can we find you?
You can find me. We may be friends tonight, but on September 5th, we definitely won't be friends.
No, bad blood, brother. Bad blood.
And a 30-minute Iron Man match. It will be. It is definitely. I mean, no, summer is technically still going on September 5th. So this is our version of SummerSlam. This will be. I'm telling you, it's going to be a fantastic match. It's going to be better than Michaels versus Triple H in the unsanctioned match. I can tell you that.
Bad blood all around. Anything else you want to plug, brother?
No, that's it. I mean,
all right. And if you guys enjoyed this list, hit that like button, subscribe to Combat Wrestling Network. And yes, this is going to be a weekly thing. I have no idea what the next one's going to be. I'll have a poll up on the Facebook group, so go join that. And then, of course, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.